Welcome to the 4th Annual Celebration of Authors Dinner, where we get to celebrate the accomplishments of the awards winners this year and the accomplishment of writing and getting published. I want to thank State Representatives Elliot Nashat and Rick Galindo for offering to speak at our event at the state capitol today. Unfortunately, because of the weather, we did have to cancel it, but I do appreciate the fact that they were going to take time out of their schedule to speak to us. Unfortunately, members of the Senate and House Education Committee didn't seem that it was that important. Which now brings me to the point of our dear governor, Greg Abbott, and him claiming to be an educational governor. Sadly, he is proving not to be a governor that supports education. Otherwise, he would have supported us. He would have supported Drop Everything and Read. We gave him 3 separate opportunities, and he snubbed us on each one. It seems he has forgotten the power of the pen and the paper. This now brings me to the subject of respect. As I worked hard over the past few months creating and developing Dear Texas, I saw on many occasions how bookstores seem to disrespect authors on many levels. With today's e-commerce and the continued growth in publishing for the self-published authors and for traditional publishing, the need for a bookstore is slowly decreasing, both from the reader's perspective as well as the author's perspective. No longer do authors need a bookstore to sell their books. Every day you hear more and more about authors succeeding through ebook sales or through the word of mouth. With the help of organizations like ours, authors are learning how to better market and sell their books. They are learning how to reach out through social media and much more. This is critical for bookstores to keep in mind. For as in the beginning, without authors, they would not exist. We as authors no longer have to rely on bookstores to get our books into people's hands. So if they want to stay in business, they need to share the wealth and to respect authors and their creative sides. It is true that many of them, was that applause? Did I hear applause? Come on. It's true. It is true that many of them feel that an author is, as the old saying goes, a dime a dozen. Especially today with 1.2 million books being published annually. But even out of that large number, if they feel they can disrespect us, they may regret it when they realize that they had disrespected a best-selling author who refuses to do business with them because they were disrespected. While at the same time, it must be clear that our author cannot ignore avenues of selling their books. That means they cannot rely strictly on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Smashwords, or any single outlet. Remember, as part of a million-plus authors group being published, your competition is also relying on the same big names. The wealth and opportunities to sell your book must be open to all possible outlets to help you create a greater chance for sales, but also to tell those in the industry that people will not give up their power to Amazon, their power to Barnes & Noble, or to Smashwords. As with any industry, competition must exist and no one company can have a monopoly. It seems that as part of my continued growth while working hard for you as an author and for the authors of the group, I am becoming more and more like a pit bull of sorts. And some of you have felt that wrath. Actually, that's good to applaud, but thank you. I am determined to make sure that authors are treated fairly. They have the right to earn a fair wage for their work. And that, as with follows the art programs, we get our fair share of the pie. There's no reason that an author should be losing up to $2,000 a year in marketing expenses. We have the right to have access to funds, as does any arts program. And I'll be damned if we don't get our fair share. Based on the survey results I have pulled together, Texas authors, and I do mean Texas authors, bring in over $100 million to the Texas economy. It's time we get the respect and the acknowledgement we deserve. I trust this rings hard and clear to our governor and for our legislature. And now that I have just put some of our great industry leaders on notice, I also need to emphasize to the author that they too must continue to work on their craft and become better at all levels, and that includes marketing. While most authors have no concept or desire to market and sell their book, I'm one, they must then use every avenue possible to accomplish that task if they want the opportunity to succeed. I am a published author of 7 books, and I'm not a bestseller. I started out like so many of you, thinking that all I had to do was write it and people would buy it. Oh, such a great illusion. Instead, I had to learn the hard way to market and sell my books, and from that I created Texas Association of Authors, Dear Texas, Texas Authors Institute of History, and a few smaller programs. I took what was available and added a Texas twist. You know I do that. And I made it work for myself and for the thousands of Texas authors that are out there. I no longer sell my books, instead I sell yours. I think as much outside of the box as I possibly and legally can. Sometimes I kind of cross the line there. But that is meant to benefit you. People are now beginning to notice us. Our sales continue to increase. Our exposure continues to increase as we use the programs and the projects that are available to you. We will increase the sales at the same time individually. But as I said earlier, you must use all possible ways to expose your book to the general public if you want to succeed. Now that I've tooted my own horn, I must without a doubt thank Jeff Smith, who's sitting up here, for giving me a job that allows me to work hard on this organization. I'm sorry. He really doesn't know what it means for us. By working with him, he has really helped not only me, but all of you, because it really frees up my time to be able to do this stuff. Jeff, for those of you who do not know it, is one of our board members. Lillian Hunter and Jean Louise is also a board member. I want to thank Marjorie Brody and Deborah Weingarten, Deborah's in the back, for helping recently and bringing people together and making things work this weekend. I really do appreciate that help.
We love you, man. You're doing awesome.
Yeah.
I want to thank our sponsors, Melody Schmidt. Where are you, Melody?
Right here.
Okay. Of C-Spot Magazine, which I really hope all of you award-winning authors have said thank you to them. Their first issue, they really did a lot for us. Okay? So please, when you have those magazines tomorrow, please pass them out. Help support them, because if you've seen your book in that, you know they're supporting you. Okay? And also Steve, Melody's husband, thank you for helping keep us somewhat on the straight line. Our other sponsors also here, EBG 24/7 on the back. He is also a co-sponsor with C-Spot Magazine for the short story contest we created, so make sure you get your entries in there. There's $30,000 worth of prizes still available. Okay. Other sponsors are John Hardy Publishing, Malone Editing, Wheeler Editing, Create My Book from Belgium. Notice that, that's in Europe. Phoenix Rising Publishing, Black Rose Publishing, Next Chapter Publishing, Greenleaf Publishing, Mike, where are you, Mike? Mike at Creation Station, especially for putting up with my insanity on printing items. Our newest sponsors are Wing Press, and a special thanks to Cave Hendricks Communications. Hopefully you got a chance to meet with them when they were here earlier. They have helped us greatly get onto the radio and TV this week to promote Dear Texas. We were on, I was on Texas Standard yesterday at about 10:35 statewide.
Wow.
So that's really good exposure for us. Without these sponsors, Believe me, they really help keep our expenses down. Well, what am I saying? I get to spend more money, so it works for you guys in the long run. We currently represent 170 authors with over 700 titles in our library. That is less than 5% of the estimated number of published Texas authors that we know about. It has always been my goal to represent as many of them as I can, if not all of them one day. Can you guys imagine the financial power we would have to get better deals for printing, trade shows, and much more as an organization? I can, and it's wonderfully scary. I have one more item that I must get off my chest to the state of Indiana, Georgia, Arkansas, Louisiana, and any other state that feels like discriminating against a minority, no matter what their race, sex, or sexual orientation is, etc. All you need to do is come to Texas, buy one of our books, and learn what inclusive and respectful stories are about. While I say I now leave you with this final thought, and if you know me, that's not always true, as an author, you are an educator, a creative influence on the young and old minds alike. We assist our fellow creative minds in the music, art, and dance communities with our words and our vivid imagination. We help the world grow stronger and more viable every day. Thank you very much for coming, for supporting us.
Alan, hang on just a minute, please. Borrow that just for a second. Let me go up here where they can see me because everybody was buried in that picture before. I'm Rob Wood. I've been a member since 2012, proud member of the Texas Association of Authors. And we all have our own reasons why we write. And we've all been asked by Alan on video or whatever over the years why we write. Real quickly, I decided when my father passed away, we found some stories he'd written in his lockbox, and it was unfortunate that he didn't ever get them published. They were stories of his youth, and that was a catalyst for me. Back in 2011, I said, I'm no spring chicken. I'm going to write some stuff down, before I cross over. And I wrote my first book, which was called The 5 Greatest Spankings of All Time, and I fumbled through getting it published and so forth. And when it appeared on Amazon, I was really proud until it was sitting there next to all these naked butts. Whoa, guys! This is not erotica. This is a story of childhood. And I said, I need some help. So I joined the Texas Association of Authors so I could meet other people who were going down the same path that I was, that had stories to tell, and didn't have all the answers about how to do it. And guys, on every given weekend in the state of Texas, somewhere, there's a book fair. And more than likely, while we're sitting at home drinking our coffee and thinking about our next book or editing what we're doing, what we did yesterday, this gentleman right here is setting up his folding shelves. He's unloading our books, and he's putting them out there and promoting them and talking to folks around the state of Texas about the stories that we have to tell. And I don't know, I've been a member since 2012, and I've never really heard anybody say thank you. So on behalf of the members of the Texas Association, we're going to give you a little plaque. You can hang it on your wall. And one day, when you look back and you say, so-and-so, Jan Sykes, best-selling author, was a member of Texas Association of Authors when we started. look back at this little plaque and know that even back then you were greatly appreciated. And all it says, it's real simple. It says, "We, the members of the Texas Association of Authors, would like to recognize B. Allen Bourgeois
He got it.
for his uncompromised commitment to the storytellers of the great state of Texas. With deep gratitude, we'd like to say, thank you, amigo."
Thank you, everybody. I greatly do appreciate that. A lot of people really don't understand why I do this. As a writer, I know what it means to get out there and market and to sell and to promote. I've reinvented the wheel way too many times. And I'm trying to save a lot of other authors from doing that as well. So hopefully this does help. I know a few of you have actually succeeded in having great book sales. Myra had told me a story earlier this evening. Because she was involved with us, she did quite well yesterday. Congratulations.
Today, good.
And you know, we've had a couple of self-published authors get traditional publishing contracts because they've been involved with us. That's what makes me excited, is when you guys succeed. So, I thank you very much. I hope you all had a good time tonight. We will be doing things different next year. I'm telling you right now. Ira's burnt out this week. So we will be moving the dinner probably to either May or June, when things are a little quieter for all of us and we can really relax and enjoy. Again, thank you all for coming. Have a good time. The bar is still open if you want to enjoy. Otherwise, we'll see you around.